Wartime horse racing begins a new Eastern season. By train and by bus, fans throng to New York's Jamaica track, where empty auto parking lots suggest get a horse or use those old-fashioned feet. The crowd is here to see this year's fastest bang-tailed Count Fleet. In workouts with his trainer, Don Cameron, and in his 10 wins, the famous 3-year-old colt looks like champion stuff, especially to John B. Hertz and owner Mrs. Hertz. And now the Wood Memorial, traditional tune-up for the Kentucky Derby, and they're off. After a jam at the start, number 6, Blue Swords, gets away with a rush and takes the lead. Count Fleet, number 5, moves into second position, rounding the first turn. Midway along the backstretch, it's strictly a two-horse affair, with Count Fleet in front, running for a purse of $20,000. And in spite of a cut on his left hind hoof, Count Fleet comes into the home stretch 4 lengths ahead to win the Wood Memorial. Time 1:43, within 2/5 of a second of the track record. $100,000 of winnings behind him, he was one of the shortest priced favorites ever named for the Kentucky Derby. Count Fleet, last year's 2-year-old champ, is a big boy now.
Count Fleet, 1943's most talked-of horse and shining star of the streetcar derby, wartime version of the Kentucky Derby, America's most famous horse race. Travel restrictions hold the crowd to 60,000 instead of the usual 90. Early arrivals catch a bit of shut-eye. 10 of the nation's best 3-year-olds are ready to go, but it seems that everyone chooses number 5, Count Fleet, Ray Count's most brilliant son. The Count's favorite rider, Johnny Longdon, gets a leg up. What? No cars? Unanimous choice for last place is number 9, Burnt Cork, the personal and private property of Mr. Eddie Anderson, sometimes known as Rochester. The parade to the post brings all eyes on Count Fleet, especially those of his owner, Mrs. John D. Hertz, and Mr. Hertz. The Count is the biggest favorite in nearly 40 years. They're off. Time past the clubhouse, it's number 11, Gold Shower, on top. The Count, number 5, is in the place position, and then number 9, Rochester's Burnt Cork. Halfway through the backstretch, Count Fleet, the Hertz Hurricane, second from the rail, pours on the coal and slips past Gold Shower. This is what the crowd was waiting for. Now they enter Heartbreak Highway, the closing furlongs of the 1.25-mile race. Blue Swords, number 1, makes his bid, but Johnny Longdon says, "Let's go, Count Fleet." That was that. The Count pounds down the home stretch, 4-legged poetry in motion, with Blue Swords second and Slide Rule third. The time, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Count Fleet in the winner's circle at Churchill Downs, standing where his daddy stood 15 years ago. Count Fleet, winner of the Kentucky Derby, America's greatest horse race, comes to Pimlico, Maryland for the $50,000 Preakness Stakes, the nation's second-ranking classic. Mrs. John D. Hertz sees her Count Fleet go into the race a 3-20 favorite. New Moon, number 3, is first away from the barrier, but it's only a flurry, and Count Fleet, wearing number 2, is soon firmly in command. As they pass the first quarter mark, it's Count Fleet and then Blue Swords, number 5. At the half, jockey Johnny Longdon is rating Count Fleet perfectly, and the Hertz entry is 3 lengths to the good. At the 3/4 mark, the Count boosts his margin to nearly 4 lengths. Blue Swords, Vincentive, and New Moon follow in that order. Now the home stretch, 3/8 of a mile from the finish. The Count has the race as good as won. It's just what the crowd of 30,000 has come to see. Yes, Count Fleet, last year's 2-year-old champion, does it again. First in the Derby, first in the Preakness, Count Fleet now looks to the Belmont and racing's Triple Crown.
Belmont Park, New York, and Count Fleet again the favorite. It's another day of work for jockey Johnny Longden, who is piloted the count to 4 straight victories in America's greatest test for 3-year-olds. Longden wears the silks of Mrs. John D. Hertz. Again today, only 2 boys are riding against Longden and Count Fleet, Johnny Gilbert and Jimmy Stout. 19,000 have made the count a prohibitive favorite for this, the 75th Belmont. Again, the count loses no time in taking command, and when they reach the backstretch, the Hertz Hurricane has the race sewn up tight. He wins by 30 lengths. Now in slow motion, the count's magnificent form. The form that won the Wood Memorial, Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Withers, and now the Belmont. An unprecedented record. The record of Count Fleet, Racehorse of the Year.